Hello, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a huge mega game I had. It was 10,000 points of dwarves versus 10,000 points of dark elves. So this first picture here is just the generals. What it was me, 5,000 points of dwarves, so there's my general at the top. A buddy of mine, his 5,000 points, all against the one kind of bunker owner, his 10,000 points of dark elves. So, both me and the Dark Elf player are very experienced. My ally is fairly new to fantasy, and so obviously dwarves as well. And going into this, we had no coordination. We didn't plan lists. We didn't plan strategy. Nothing. So, huge disadvantage there. We'll have a little advantages of having two BSBs and things, but having no coordination of strategy or anything, I think is going to be a real tough spot. Alright, so in this first picture here, up at the top he has some harpies, 2 units of dark riders, a regular building there, then there's 2 hydras, he has a big horde of witches with hellborn in there, then he has some crossbowmen about to go into that one building there, that's kind of the settlement, and in the middle there's the elven waystone. There in the back there's a cauldron, and inside that settlement is the executioner horde, and there's a BSB in there, and behind them there's a repeater bolt thrower in that black tower, and there's another hydra. Down on our side this is a poisonous thicket, and in there we have an organ gun, and there's also a bolt thrower. You see there's a slayer there, and I have a big unit of quarrelers with a dwarf lord that actually is stubborn. Continuing on, he has another, I don't know if I said hydra there on the side of the executioners, more crossbowmen about to go into a building. He has 2 hordes of corsairs there, and behind them 2 units of blackguard. In the left one is Malekith, on the right one is just a regular dreadlord. Between them another bolt thrower, and there's another hydra there, another bolt thrower behind, that's actually that grail building, and another bolt thrower there. Looking back down to our side, you can see I have a cannon, I have some thunderers up front, behind I have some long beards, and I have a lord, my general, set up there, another cannon, my hammerers with a slayer in front, behind I have my anvil, my grudge thrower, a big unit of warriors with a BSB in there, and just a regular lord. I also have an organ gun, and then you can see he has some combat quarrelers there that have already moved up due to his BSB that's in the unit, and behind that he has a unit of warriors with his rune lord in there. He also has another organ gun. I have a bolt thrower in another poisonous thicket here, a flame cannon. At the bottom there he has Thoric, another cannon, 3 units of thunderers. Hopping back up to the Dark Elf side, they have a chariot, they have a horde of 40 knights there, Cold One knights, and in there is Malice Darkblade. There's also another chariot, another larger horde of corsairs that has that Lockyer special character, some spearmen with a supreme sorceress, and that's a wizard's tower there. And then finally on this right side, you can see on the hill we have another organ gun, another cannon. He has a big unit of slayers there, and then there's a demon slayer and a dragon slayer in that unit. And then up top, that little statue thing is a thing that gives you +1 to wound. He has 3 units of shades, and up top there you can see more crossbowmen, a repeater bolt thrower, and more harpies. Alright, so the game in general didn't have any special mission. It was just a pitch battle, and actually at the beginning here we weren't even going to count victory points at the end. We just wanted to have one big huge game, and then whatever happened happened. Now for myself, I kind of want to do well, right? I want to have fun, but this game is because this is going to be one of the last times I get to play in this gaming group, so I don't want to just get crushed and have a waste of a mega game. I want to be competitive enough that it's close. Unfortunately, with my ally here, I don't know if that's going to happen. He has a really little bit substandard list, and he did something extremely crazy. First of all, as I said, he had that one Strola's rune on his BSB, so he moved his quarrelers actually closer to the enemy there, and then as well, I didn't mention that big unit he had of his Longbeards. That's because they're actually going to be moved farther up. What those are ranger longbeards with great weapons. In there he has his general, and so they're going to move up with their scout deployment. Strolla's rune is going to move them even closer, and then he's going to be trying to use the anvil to charge first turn because we allowed in this group. There's a little bit of a gray area rules wise, but we allowed in this group. Extremely risky and ballsy. If our Dark Elf opponent would have had first turn, we would have been crushed, but luckily we won it, so we'll see what happens. So really, when I got to this point, I just started thinking, you know what? How about I just look at making my side, my dwarves, I'm going to try and kill more than I lose. It's going to be a team effort, but I know my opponent's going to be in trouble, and so really the plan is just going to try and use that stubborn lord on the left to tie up most of his hydras and things. And then in the center, I think I have some good matchups there for against the Witch Elves and the Executioners, so I'll deal with those. I actually forgot to say that in his Quarrelers, I have a Thane with the Masaruna Challenge, so I'm going to be using him to try and mess up the bog down his center there. And then so after, hopefully, when I'm done dealing with my stuff, I can come back and deal with those Corsairs. But it's really up in the air, and we're going to see what happens. So, like I said, we won first turn. His anvil charge works, and so he charges in. And so, this is really ballsy. It's getting in there. Hopefully, I'll get rid of this huge horde right away. But the other thing is, even if he does, I know then he's just going to be in the center of a big, huge mess and then just kind of get swamped and destroyed. So at the very least, I hope that he's just going to be stalling the enemy over here. Over here, his Slayers move up, and then with that anvil charge, he also moves these guys up to charge the Shades. And look at that, we're in huge trouble. So what happened here is Malice Darkblade actually killed his general in a challenge. Those, they don't even have the lance bonuses, but they killed 14 of the Longbeards. The Longbeards only killed 3 back, lost, and got ran down. So boom, all of a sudden we lost a huge unit, a general, and now there's nothing on this side stopping those knights from charging up. So I didn't know what to say at this point. It was just, we were just in so much trouble, and I was just really fearing to see what type of disaster this would unfold to be, but really, what can you do, right? As for the rest of the battle line, I killed some of the witches. We did some wounds to some hydras. I used my anvil to slow down those red corsairs on the right there. And then over here, the Slayers wipe out those Shades. They're going to panic another one. So that was pretty good. But we really didn't do very much with our shooting. Just kind of bad luck with our cannon. So a horrible first turn. You can see that one Thane has moved up to do that Masaruna challenge. Thanks to pre-measuring, I know I'm exactly the right distance. But wow, what a horrible first turn. Alright, so Dark Elves, turn 1. He gets his only spell off of the entire game, and he put a Shades, this organ gun over here. It's really hard for me to get any magic off when we're basically +9 to dispel dice and he's -1, because we got 3 rune lords, 2 anvils, and a master rune of balance. So I mean, he was pretty brave to even try doing magic. So you can see that on this side he really is just surrounding this one flank of mine, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm not too excited about those hydras joining over into the main combat, so hopefully they'll stay over here. And on this side, I used the Masaruna challenge to make that one unit of Corsairs fail a charge. The red ones tried charging 2, they were out. The Knights tried charging the Quarrelers, but the BSB has a rune of slowness, so they failed. And sorry, that little void grenade in the center, that was the warding well. Otherwise, he does some shooting around, kills some of my Quarrelers, kills some of the Slayers, but that's really all that happens in his turn. So Dwarves turn 2, my miners come on, and even though I want them on my side, I really need to stop these Knights, so they come up behind the Knights here. The Slayers go and charge the rallied Shades. After we shoot up some Knights, I use the anvil to charge it in the rear. and I get slaughtered. You know, again, he just rolls really well, kills a bunch of my guys. I'm steadfast, but I fail, and I get run down. So the only good thing about this is that he's actually facing the other way right now because he had to run me down because if I was characters frenzied. But yeah, so far the dwarves are losing quite a bit on their own turns. Otherwise, I shoot and I kill some Dark Riders, the Slayers running up just to try and redirect the Hydras. I kill some Executioners with the Grudge Thrower. We do some wounds to the Hydra, but we still aren't killing these Hydras off, and we really need these dead before the combat start. And on the other side here, we've destroyed one of the chariots, and his Slayers destroyed that unit of Shades, but yeah, we still have that big unit of Knights that's going to be coming back on us. So Dark Elves turn 2. These Dark Riders charged my Quarrelers. The small one tried charging the Organ Gun but failed, and the one Hydra charged my Slayer there. Both units of Corsairs tried charging the Combat Quarrelers, but only one made it because of that Rune of Slowness again. He had an Assassin pop out, and my Thane came over here to fight him because I also have a 4+ ward. The Harpies charged the cannon, and after everything it looks like this. So my Quarrelers held against the Dark Riders and I reformed the face. His Hydra actually killed my Slayer. This is just, I took the picture too early. There'll be another one later, but you can see how his other Hydra and his Witchers are moving up, so I'm going to have to try and deal with that. And he has another Hydra that ran right up to our line to flame us. So that's not good. We have to deal with this right away. One thing that was really good though is that those combat Quarrelers beat up those Corsairs. We killed the Assassin, killed a whole bunch, let them run away. They ran over the Blackguard, and so that was good to win that combat. And over here you can see his Knights, they swift reformed, turned around, came back. His Corsairs with the lock here on the far right, they're moving up. He shot and killed a whole bunch of Slayers, and actually those Harpies went and tied up the cannon, so it can't shoot next turn. But in the center there, the Malekith with his Blackguard are breaking through, so we have to deal with that right away. But that's all I'm going to cover with this video, and I'll do the rest of the report to the next one.